Naruto 646, viewer comments. Alright, just a couple little reminders here. Okay, DT Ninja has stated that there are 10 chapters in a volume when you buy the manga, right? And that usually chapter 10 of the volumes, there's a big reveal or some kind of big thing that happens. Next week will be the 10th chapter in this volume that'll get complete. And lo and behold, Kishi says next week is 21 pages. So 647 should be mind-blowing. Some things are going to happen in there that are just super incredible. And you've already seen the pace we've been at. So be prepared to get rocked on 647. It's just, wow. Enjoy the ride. We've got what? I know some people don't want to hear this. We've got what, 20, 30 more chapters to go? Something like that. Enjoy it, people. Take this from an older person. And in that case, some people are older than me hearing this, but then hopefully you can back me up. Enjoy it while it's there. Enjoy things while it lasts, okay? And we're at the end of this. Enjoy it. Make comments. Have your fun. Get it out there. Otherwise, you'll regret it. The only true things that anybody ever regrets are the things they didn't do. A little more wisdom there for you. Let's go ahead and get started off with Genesorf. What a brilliant chapter. I have been moaning that it was getting boring for a couple of weeks now. But this was flawless. In my opinion, Madara excited me. Hiruzen was epic. Yes, he was. And I didn't mention that in my review. He got, what, 2 or 3 panels, but it was perfect. And even Naruto was like grandpa. You know, it was, he's kind of, he didn't always do a great job. But, you know, since he was a kid, he's been, you know, taking care of Naruto. Like I say, not always that great, but still. So, you know, right there at the end that he was the one that pulled Naruto out of that was just, it was brilliant. It was spot on. Continuing on. And for the first time ever, I actually liked Obito. Wow, okay. LOL. I loved how cold he was. He didn't give a shit. I loved it. It's been a great week for Naruto. Brilliant episode and a brilliant chapter. And I know that because you have absolutely been stating you have not been thrilled these last few weeks. And you have a few more comments. I'll read those real quick. So I guess this means the sage was not the first to wield chakra. His mother was. Something just came to mind. If the sage awakened the Rinnegan, that means he had the Sharingan, and it means he had Susanoo and all that. Cool, he must have had a hard life if he had awakened Sharingan, EMS, Rinnegan. I mean, it looks like he was just born with it, but I don't know. That's kind of, that is, you know, knowing everything, that's kind of crazy. I completely, okay, and then, let's see. I completely disagree. Madara is not Obito, Steve. Okay, he's disagreeing with me. LOL. Kishi is building up to something big with Madara. Jugo is nothing. He is another fodder. Nothing more. I think he's an important element, but I've been wrong before. Also, the thing with Madara, I've probably mentioned this half a dozen times at least. He is a creation put together by Otomaru Kabuto, right? You think there's no safety devices in this guy? I think there is. I think that's going to be, whatever Madara's trump card is, I think they've got a trump card on him. So, be suspecting that to be played out, okay? Yeah, Team Snake. Look for Team Snake. And, there's a lot more stuff, but oh gosh, there was a lot of stuff I wanted to get into. Anyway, I really do appreciate your comments. I'll go ahead and let some people. There's definitely a few more things I really want to get into because well, let me get into this little thing right here. The whole thing about what Madara said, okay, about the story of them getting chakra and they get these powers, and the difference that it made was no difference because people are still people, and what I hope people put together, which I'm sure they do, is it's just like technology. You see the technology we have. And I'm not getting into politics. I'm not getting into any stuff. I'm just touching on this. You see that human stupidity, our own problems, our own flaws, to put it kindly, about us all together as humanity, it doesn't matter if we have smartphones or the technology or whatever. It's still powered by us. Enlightened self-reason, unenlightened self-reason, creative destruction, non-creative destruction. You just see this stuff played over. And if we don't realize and mitigate and understand that a lot of times a small, powerful group of people or, different self-interest, will do unenlightened things, and just really usually it's stupid. It's unenlightened self-interest. They grab onto stuff, and it's just. But anyway, but all this, and I'm not just trying to distract. I'm saying this is what Kishimoto is talking about. It's a part of it. Even the money issues, the way that the ninja world works. Okay, the whole kind of corporate and industrial complex. It's the same. He's talking about these kind of things, so that's why they make sense. But anyway, I realize I'm not getting off track. It may seem that way, but this is really what Kishimoto is about. So the whole tree thing and the power and how it didn't make any difference struck home to me. Anyway, continuing on. A lot more awesome comments. But considering we got as much time as we want, so there's no pressure. It's another reason. I love your comments. My gosh. Makes me so much. Reading a chapter by myself and, watching other people, do some commentary on it is one thing, and that's fun. But this is awesome. I can't thank everybody enough. But let me get to those comments I'm talking about. Michael Gethman. If Steve is right about Jugo, that would be pretty cool. I wasn't expecting a god tree. You never expect a god tree. And then I was thinking the final form would resemble more of a human. I think the whole tree thing has blown everybody's mind. Can the tree bloom without the 8 and 9 tails? The Sage of the Sixth Path was the first person. Well, it seems like he's collecting all the chakra back now. I think that's the thing about the tree form. It doesn't matter at that point because it's just, I'm going to take it all back anyhow. It's just going to suck all the chakra back into it. The Sage of the Sixth Path was the first person born with chakra. And he's wondering how the Sage Jutsu was formed or discovered. Did the Sage have to use Sage Jutsu to subdue the monster? The chapter was a lot of fun to read. Now we know the Sage of the Sixth Path's name. I wasn't expecting a princess. Wow. Well, it was awesome. Simple but awesome. But see, you can definitely tell. Anybody that's created something in his work, with any kind of stuff, you realize it's something you've been playing around with your mind for a long time. It's been polished, it's been reworked, it's almost like metalwork. It's been hammered, reforged, and it's simply a much better product. And you can tell right now that Kishimoto, this stuff has just been reworked. It's been distilled down a lot. It's been worked on. It's just brilliant. I absolutely love it. Appreciate your comments. Loyalist Viral, Forbidden Fruit. Come on. That's easily a one-piece ripoff. From a mile away. They're doing some crappy Bible symbolism with the apple Adam and Eve were not supposed to eat. It was an okay chapter, but I feel like they keep going back to things and adding little details like this whole princess malarkey. They could have stayed with the Sage of the Sixth Path being the one who started it all. The reason that if people can separate themselves away, look, there's stories. Let's just separate the religion. People get turned off by it or whatever. Just the whole forbidden fruit thing works on a lot of levels. Okay, the thing that you're not supposed to get, and then it holds true in this case because what happens in that story, the biblical story, is you get something, you get knowledge and understanding, but you get booted out of living in paradise. Okay, so there's the trade-off. Here, okay, what happens is you get the forbidden fruit, and it really doesn't make anything better. People just are killing each other differently, or even as Madara said, more gruesome. So they have more power, so a lot of the things that are going on are actually, since they're even more empowered, or the devastation is even worse. I guess that's the trade-off. So there you are. I think it's a tool that works. Okay, like I say, once people can separate the religion issues or what have you, it works pretty well. And let's see. All right, appreciate the comments as always. Louis Viral. Lumpy Rocks. Kakashi Kamui would be pretty... Okay, you're responding. Hold on. Mohidum first. Okay, I think it's about time Kakashi shows up the next 3 or 4 chapters. A lot of people constantly, where is Kakashi? We want Kakashi back, right? And Lumpy Rocks responds, Kakashi's Kamui would be pretty handy at this point. His tie with Obito will make him even more likely to come help the Alliance. This is part of Kishimoto's genius, is that all this stuff is out here, and I almost have a feeling, and I've seen this before in another anime, I'm not going to get into it, that and I've seen Kakashi, I can't remember all this, but I've seen him use some minor jutsus in place in there before on people and trick them. Okay? And I wouldn't doubt that he might have placed something in Obito. That would be kind of interesting later. But this stuff is such a high level, like I say, I think this is more or less saving Kakashi's life. I think, be happy is what I'm starting to say. You're not seeing him, but I think that he's going to be saved from getting killed, because I don't think he would have, probably made it through this. So does he have now the next thing, does he have a key role in bringing down Obito? Like I say, maybe he's already implanted something in Obito. We'll have to see. But I know everybody's impatient and they want to see more Kakashi. Okay, all right. Appreciate your comments. And Lumpy Rocks has a couple of comments. I think that the third Hokage must have been off meeting with Ochomaru to just jump in and save Naruto. Either that or he was busy reforming from scratch. For someone, I don't even know about that. That'd be interesting. For someone like myself who isn't religious, I really do like this whole God tree thing, and it wants to reabsorb chakra. See, that's another angle. Now you have someone that's not religious saying, well, because I'm not molded to this thing, I'm not, irritated because there's a God tree. So you see how it is? Just, it's just made up stories. It's not attacking any. It's not attacking religion or atheism or anything or what have you. It's just it's talking about how messed up people are. So, but anyway, I really like to do this whole thing, tree god thing, and it wants to reabsorb chakra. Yeah, it's chakra. I really have no idea what Naruto can do at this point. Hell, Naruto almost died this chapter, and he was weakened severely. I guess this is Madara's true motive, to end the shinobi suffering by taking away their abilities. Well, that's part of it. Well, no more fighting. You just live in your own little dream world. I don't entirely understand why the moon is needed. Maybe it will amplify the tree's absorption of chakra to hit worldwide. I think it's just a mirror. My understanding of it is just simply a surface to bounce back down onto the whole earth. I think that's just it. And I was thinking, does this make Lee the only one to hurt the tree? He has no chakra. Could he kill the flower bud? Naruto's sage mode seems to be... You're getting onto something here. Maybe. But my understanding is the only thing that worked was sage mode because it was the natural energy. I don't know if physical violence is going to work, but I like where you're going with this, because that means Guy could probably go... Now we got Guy and Lee going, 8 gates to bust this thing up. That would be an interesting deal. But I still think it's going to go off. People are going to have to escape it. I've already mentioned that before. And finish up your comment. Then again, he's a child of prophecy after all. Maybe he will ascend to a godlike mode like Obito with a super strong ability. Appreciate your comments. I think there's going to be a lot more to this. Like I said, I think we're going to have a few chapters of people dealing with this alternate, made-up reality, and some of them are going to be very, very happy with it. And you may find that most people, or a large chunk of people, are very happy with it. But that's where the other thing, all this accumulating power and all that, and I like where people are going with this stuff, because what do you do when you don't have those kind of powers anymore, right? What do you have? You had the stuff inside you, So the ability for Naruto to say, this is awesome. It's this illusion, but I don't want to live in it, and my friends are relying on me. So, yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. I think that's going to be pretty darn interesting. Like I've mentioned before, with the last Naruto movie, if everybody saw that, with what was it, his alternate universe kind of deal with Nim, I think the guy's name. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. So it's interesting. All right, appreciate the comments. Neo Snipe, I like this chapter. For the moment Sarutobi saved Naruto was damn epic. Still, this chapter was kind of similar to the Evangelion anime. Great chapter and great review. Appreciate it. Appreciate your comments. DT Ninja 831. That's a good. Okay, wait a minute. You're responding to. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me go back up here. Keiko 3017. Adam and Eve. Kishimoto's a genius. And Mago Cybernetic. Who is Adam though? And then DT Ninja. That's a good point. LOL. In the tale of the bamboo cutter, the emperor falls in love with the princess Kaguya. Kaguya, maybe. But she returns to the moon instead of taking his hand in marriage. Well, it doesn't hold exactly to the Adam and Eve thing. I mean, that's another thing too. So you've got the Eve, but you've got actually, they don't really talk about Adam. I think the first kid they had was named Seth or something, so you're kind of going. So it's more like Adam and Adam's, or Eve and Eve's son, more. So it doesn't hold perfect. But anyway, and DT Ninja 831, appreciate you throwing because I really don't even have knowledge as far as anything in depth as far as Japanese mythology or anything like that. Or you have so much more knowledge on that and anime in general. It's just amazing. And I always appreciate your comments and insight. Uchiha GXD, Old Testament reference and Twisted Messiah mode. Might as well call this manga the Bible. Anyway, Madara turned to the good side. I think it's plausible. And how come the God Tree is not going for Obito? Well, I don't know. He's the Jinchuriki of it. So I mean, for me, that was kind of explained. It is funny. It is funny how the whole Adam and Eve thing triggers people in different ways because of the Bible, and I don't know. It's for me, it's always humorous. But anyway, I find religions in general very interesting to be here because it tells you a lot about humanity and people, and that's how societies were first organized. So I don't, I don't know. Anyway, just find this stuff more interesting. Let's see. Appreciate your comments, by the way. And KX Mixer X. Even though I wasn't the first to come to this opinion, but let me remind everyone that I call Madara's true intention many chapters ago. LOL. Even enough of that though. I really want to know what it was that made the Uchiha so special to have written records of the world's origin. How come the Senju didn't have that information as well? It strikes me as a bit odd. I guess, what code? I don't know. I don't know. I have to move on from that. Good questions. Don't know. And unfortunately, we probably never will the way things go. G. Gorsey, this chapter was awesome. I think Ocharu knows about the God Tree. Madara did. I remember when Kabuto says to Madara that he and Orochimaru was based on the hypothesis on the stone monument of the Uchiha. I am sure that Orochimaru knows the God Tree. Great review as always. Like I say, I think he's way ahead of it. He's been in parallel. He's been getting information this whole time. And like I say, he Kabuto, however you want to, that created this version of Edo Madara to serve this purpose. So I think they're gonna reclaim their tool yet again. All right, appreciate your comments. GX Mixer X, second comment. My guess, and it's just a wild theory, is that before the hermit sage died and left all that governing power to the Senju side of his lineage, he gave something else to the side that eventually would become the Uchiha. That something else I'm referring to, of course, being the truth of the origin of the world. You see, I believe that the sage foresaw that the Uchiha's visual prowess would be perfect for hiding that truth. Remember, only those with the Sharingan can read the sacred Uchiha stone tablets, as we know that information is powerful. The reason those origins needed to be hidden is because of the fact, I know this theory doesn't really have basis, but it just makes sense to me that the sage would leave something as well to the brother that didn't inherit the responsibility of ruling. I like the idea. Actually, I like the idea that there's more, well, that he didn't have the Rinnegan, and there's still more on the tablet to be read. That and this is, I think, mentioned on later. I don't think anybody's mentioned it so far. I think that would be pretty freaking awesome. And G. Gorsey's responding to you. It means the story is actually interesting. I love the whole chakra concept. I did too. It was simple but very effective to me. It means everyone who was chakra in the world is descended from the sage of the sixth path, not just the Uchiha and the Senju, because he was the only one with chakra already within him, and it makes sense that only his kids would have chakra inside them. And let's see. Appreciate your comments. G. Gorsey, another comment here. This is strange that Sasuke is standing there, feeling nothing and just looking. I mean, to me, is insane. You forgot about Sakura. She's dying there in the last page before the last page. LOL. There's a few. Well, there's a few comments later that's not too too thrilled with Sakura. It isn't I hate Sakura. It's just I find the hate for her rather humorous, because her problems in this manga are because of Kishi. I mean, she's like, it's like Tintin. People hate Tintin, but why? Did Tintin's character actually do anything? No, Tintin's character did nothing, and so people hate her. And Sakura's character hasn't done enough and hasn't been built up enough, so people hate her. So, what can you say? You know, yeah. So we appreciate the comments, of course. And let's see, Jair Mukawa. I agree with you on everything, but you seem to think that Madara knew about this as a kid. Remember, he learned of all of this from the Uchiha tablet, and you could only read from it with the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Even then, you wouldn't be able to read the whole story unless you had the Rinnegan. This, as a matter of fact, you're the one that I was talking about earlier that brought this up, so that means that there could be even more important information on that tablet to be read. So I really do appreciate that. And let's see, Mr. Marcus. Why the hell, appreciate the comments by the way, why the hell would the sage of the sixth path leave valuable info to the accursed clan and not to the Senju? And notice how shocked Hashirama was when Madara told about this untold secret. If we all remember, well, the sage of the sixth path left the kingdom to Senju's son and not to the eldest, but leaves important secrets to the cursed son. Could be possible that someone could have manipulated the sage of the sixth path into doing so. It just doesn't make any sense. Well, yeah, I don't know. That I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, to me, it's still too early. We're getting more information, and it may make more sense a little later on. That's the best I can do. And let's see, Mr. Marcus continues. And Steve, I don't believe Jugo is the key to the God Tree. If anybody in this key to the God Tree, would be Hashirama. And that's probably why Madara never told a particular story to him. Even though they were kids, listening to Madara knew that they would have families have been feuding since the days of the Sage of the Sixth Path. He also knew Hashirama was a Senju beforehand. He also set up the fight between them to obtain Hashirama's powers. It's all well planned out. Even Madara, his death, as well thought out, great review, Steve. Except for the fact that Obito wasn't going to bring him back, and then it was Ochomaru and Kabuto that actually brought Madara back as an Edo and not resurrected as himself, which is Obito was supposed to. So his plan did not exactly go perfectly for Madara. Yeah, so he got the backstab from Obito right there. All right, appreciate the comments, as always. G. Gorsey, I think this time there'll be no fruit. Remember what Madara said. They say this time it will be a little different. When the flower bud of this god tree blooms, the eye inside the flower will reflect on the moon above, and the infinite Tsukiyama will be complete, and the one who will do this is me. I think Madara will make his move now. Yeah, it kind of looks like it, and that's, we're getting into chapter, with the 21 pages into it, so, what is it, 647? It's going to be a heck of a chapter. It's going to be a heck of a chapter, and I would expect Team Snake, and I don't know what Ochomaru's done by now, whether he's made some monster, out of the not the Hokages, but the Kages or something. I mean, he may have killed them and Edo'd them for all I know. I mean, it's going to be a crazy chapter next week. Everybody just be prepared to have your mind blown next week. It's going to be awesome, by the way. And let's see. Appreciate your comments. King of Fissy Hyuga. Sakura is going to die. And Obito Uchiha. I laughed pretty hard the first time I read this. Uchiha Obito goes, good riddance, flat so. You know what's... Okay, that's funny on a lot of levels to me, because once again, it's the cold, thing towards Sakura, her flat-chestedness, which I think you're alluding to. And, of course, has already been mentioned, she's already got the chakra and everything, so, at some point in this, when this is all over, if chakra still exists in the universe at the end of this, she's probably going to be, filled out something maybe not quite as extreme as her sensei. But that would be kind of funny to see the non-flat Sakura. And she may go extreme, who knows? Yeah, especially if people like you are teasing her. Okay, she may go pretty crazy with that. All right. Oh, boy. It's a lot of fun. All right, appreciate your comments. Flat so. All right, Mr. Marcus. Hashirama, wood-style jutsu is the key to all this, and that's why Madara went out of his way to obtain his power, and that's why Yamamoto was taken. That's why Madara stole the first power during the first fight, and that's why Madara was trying to stop Hashirama from being involved in this war. Now, there's a fair amount of people, appreciate your comments, have brought this up, that evidently they think that the first, because of his massive chakra, which we have been reminded of, may actually be key to doing something. And I'm sure Madara is saying it because he doesn't think that Hashirama is going to be able to stop him. Because Hashirama is still not evidently, he said close, but not at his full potential of where he was at, which is kind of insane. And Madara is boosted up well and beyond what he was. So I think I don't know, it could be interesting. But whatever combination that Kishi goes, I still think that it's going to happen. It's going to go, and people are going to get caught up in this infinite Tsukiyami, and they're going to have to deal with that aspect of it. And I think it's going to be just extremely interesting. Appreciate your comments. And let's see. TQ Rules 01. Naruto's Senjutsu can turn it to stone, no? Like I said, I think it's going to succeed. And it's natural energy, so I would think that the Jubi would be the last, I don't think it's going to turn to stone. I don't think that's going to work. Okay, and let's see a couple from Janisorf here real quick. Well, the tree finally explains what's so special about Hashirama and his silk. Yeah, and the nature thing is just, that's the main power, right? And I smiled a little too much when I saw Sakura on the ground But 3 years of her storing chakra was just taken away. Just too funny to me. Oh, God, I want to make this brief, but I got to say something about Sakura here. There's something more. The timing of what you're saying is her moment in the sun just sucked, didn't it? It was like, what a letdown. What a, I don't know. And now this, I don't know. Maybe she'll be able to prove herself. That would be something redeeming, finally. But I can't believe the fan base went nuts. I'm a valuable member of Team 7. She comes on out there, and every review I heard, every single feedback that got into soccer, pretty much, but all the reviewers, everybody was like, "What a colossal, fail." I'm just as strong as everybody. And then they're like, "Okay, go. That's nice. You gave a good speech. Go sit over there, and let the rest of us go take care of business." So, gosh, I just had to get that out. Anyway, appreciate your comments. Okay, the Thunder Powwow. I'm confused. So the tree was the Jubi, and does this explain Hashirama's wood technique? Because he is the bloodline of the Sage of the Sixth Path, and so are Uchiha. Yep, I think it's pretty much how it is. Appreciate comments. And a couple from Lobby7. Why is the tree not attacking Sasuke or Jugo? I think, like I said, I think that Jugo's a freak. Okay, let's just admit it. He's a complete... Ochimaru was trying to copy Jugo's abilities, with other people with the seal, to unlock their abilities and everything. And Jugo was the source of that. Okay? There is something about Jugo that is just off the freaking charts. Okay, and I still think that he's a key to some part of this, or potentially, so we'll see. 2 of Ochimaru's pupils, but that's why I think that the tree just simply sees him as a part of the tree. It doesn't see him as foreign. That's how close he is to the tree. Okay, yeah. I have to think the trump card is about to come into play. Madara must have planned something just to invade Obito, betray him, and decide to take the Ten Tails for himself. Well, I mean, this is what... So Madara's... Good point. Madara's definitely got something to make sure... And he seems pretty dang confident that he's going to be able to do it now. As opposed to he's like, well, I have to hurry up. Seems like he's like, I'll be able to do it. So, he's got something set up to trump Obito. Kabuto and Team Snake, Ochimaru, created this version, I'm just repeating it again, of Ito Madara, right, to trump him. So the trump cards are going to go flying in 647. That's what it looks like to me. It's going to be freaking crazy. And it probably none of it's going to work because the infant Tsukiyami is going to end up getting implemented. That's what I think is going to happen. Alright, and then we'll see also another from Lobby7, just in case Obito betrayed him. Okay. And appreciate your comments. And let's see. UUHH123. It looks like Sakura's seal may have disappeared because of the God Tree, but I can't tell because the panel is so small. Now, that's getting back to the whole, look what I did. I spent all these years and I did this, and then the God Tree just took it away in one touch. Yeah, it would suck. Appreciate your comments. Next is Legend 9. Makes me wonder how Naruto and company will be able to fight this tree. I guess the Sage mode can absorb nature chakra, and then it might be and that's how maybe they can fight. Like I say, great review. Oh, I appreciate that. Like I said, they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose. Whoever ends up controlling this thing, and then there's going to be several chapters of people in their little alternate world fighting to unplug. Okay, the Matrix, to fighting to unplug themselves and get back into reality, and then try to free everybody. Like I say, the Jinchurikis have been through. B will be able to get out of it. Okay, Naruto will be. Some characters are going to be able to fight the temptation. Okay, because they've been trained to get out of it. And others are going to go, you know what? I can chill on this You know, once again, like the Matrix, it's like, you know, this tastes like, you know, steak, and this is that, and I'm living in my little alternate universe, and I'll just, you know, I'll hang with this. Reality sucks. So, I mean, how many people wouldn't mind that? So that's another, I think this is just going to be so over the top. It's going to be so freaking awesome. All right, I got, okay, several comments from DT Ninja 831 that I'm going to go ahead and read. I want to make sure they're not copies. Okay, let me go ahead and read these quickly. One of Kaguya's greatest powers was clairvoyance. She was, now you're going to tell us about the actual from mythology, I'm assuming. She was able to look deep into people's hearts and see their true desires. Ooh, that's just like the ability that Naruto's got. Interesting. She could manipulate people to get what she wanted. This power seems similar to the Sharingan. Another powerful ability of hers was the nature of manipulation, and it's probably how Sage Jutsu came to be. Finally, her ability to connect with the earth and make tree rise from the ground, binding her enemies. So all the powers of her came from the original Senju. The God tree is very interesting as it rises toward the moon. I enjoyed the reference to both Adam and Eve and to the ancient Japanese folklore of the bamboo cutter. Princess Kaguya was said to have gained the powers of a god, given her the ability to levitate, teleport, negate all attacks, spring branches from her arms, impaling enemies like a tree branch, invoke illusions upon people, open black holes and absorb any attacks, put up strong barriers. Sound familiar? Very familiar. Awesome. I really do appreciate your insight. A couple more comments from DT Ninja 831 informing us of some Japanese mythology, which is absolutely looking like it's connected to what's going on now. It's got to come from somewhere. Mythology is an awesome place. Kishimoto did an awesome job. If we go back 30 chapters or so to when Obito and Madara connected themselves to the Jubi, they both were able to use wood element much greater than if they could use it on their own. Kishimoto always has this way of connecting little things that seem unimportant and they turn out to be significant. The Jubi's reference to being from the earth is one of them. Awesome chapter. I agree that Jugo is hiding something, and there's no doubt Ochimaru is plotting something. Sarutobi's epic save toward the end, Obito's non-existent presence as he waits for the end of the world, and Madara's words that brought him to utter despair, and how the sage divided his great powers. The Uchiha who were given the power of knowledge, and the Senju who were given the power to create life. Hence, regeneration. Wood element, nice review, and keep up the great work. Appreciate it, and I appreciate your insight. Awesome. Awesome stuff. It's got to come from somewhere, and it's in the references you gave from Japanese mythology were freaking awesome. Appreciate it. All right. G. Gorsi, you got the last two comments here. I think whatever comes up, Naruto is the center because he will stop all this hatred and war. Infinite Tsukiyami requires the moon, but what happens when the sun comes up and the moon goes down? It is no wonder that all to try to stop the war in their own way. I mean, this God tree is put together very well. After all, the tree is natural energy. As noted by Kurama, the Ten Tails lacks a consciousness to possess the feelings or ideals, thus making it impossible for those to sense it through such means, and those that involve detect negative feelings or chakra. People in Sage Mode are best able to gain some sense of the beast's power. Awesome. Well, that's going to be it for, appreciate your comments, by the way. That's going to be it for this week. I'm sitting here getting the viewer comments out on the same day that normally I'd be getting a review out. So that's, talk about a quick turn, right? That's awesome. And people seem to really do appreciate when these get out quicker. We got about 45 comments that were made. I personally like around 60, you know. Once you get up to 100, you're definitely, once you get that high, you're definitely usually getting up over And now we're right at 40 minutes. I figured about 30 40 minutes for this, so this is working out a little high. All right, appreciate it. I love it. Like I say, enjoy it while it's here. I enjoy this on so much of a higher level. I learned so much, and particularly this week, DT Ninja, I really appreciate your insights on this Japanese mythology. You have a lot of knowledge, and I really do appreciate you sharing. And I appreciate everyone sharing their information, their different aspects. Like I say, I'm a below average fan, to be perfectly honest. And when I watch these videos and get the insights and different aspects and everything that I've missed, and it turns me into a much better fan. It's so much more enjoyable too. Instead of just reading it by myself or watching comments, I'm able to enjoy it with at least a few hundred people, which is awesome. Thank you so much. All right, and like I say, enjoy it while it's here, people. Enjoy it while it's here. Enjoy it while it's here. This time next year, we'll all be doing different stuff. All right. Anybody can be an anime fan. You can always subscribe. You can always unsubscribe. You can do anything you want to. Until next time, take care.